Hey, everybody, welcome back to Morning Talk with Mike and Paul. I'm Big Mike,
And I'm Bold Paul.
and he's Bald Paul. Hey, we did a thing, and Paul, you want to show them what we did for the morning show?
People, if you would like to show your appreciation for the latest in Big Mike's merchandise,
There you go. You can have coffee every morning with Paul and I in your own mug. I put that up on Thursday. I told Paul, and then Paul ordered it, and he got it on Saturday because
2 days from ordering.
we have our merch store has a plant in England, which is only 6 hours away from where Paul lives. So good news if you're from merry old England or you're over in the mainland of Europe. All the merch that we have on our store comes out of our England plant. And if you're in the States and you ordered it the same day you put it on the merch store, you're still waiting.
That just goes to show the efficiency of the Chinese workers in Britain.
That's correct. But guys, we want to welcome you guys in. This morning we're going to be talking, or we're going to start talking. We don't know where this is going to go, as our loyal followers know us by now. But we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts when interacting with ICE agents or Border Patrol or any law enforcement that's out there. Now, we got to remember something. ICE agents, Border Patrol are law enforcement. People kind of misconstrue that, but they're at the federal level, okay? And we have seen so many people, you've seen so many videos of people doing stupid things at stupid times. Okay. And there's one side of the aisle that would say that if you're in the United States, you deserve due process. However, if you broke federal law to be in the United States, then
You don't deserve
my
popcorn.
opinion, you shouldn't have due process to be thrown out of the United States or any country that you're in because you committed a federal crime in coming in. One could say, okay. Now I get it. There are a lot of immigrants that have come in the United States with good intentions, okay, wanting a better life, that are hard workers, okay, that have family members here in the States, okay, and they're reunited with those family members. But still, you have a responsibility. And if you go in, and here's the kicker, people who immigrate to the United States legally, they take an oath of citizenship to denounce anything and everything that they came from and support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Okay? That's what you do when you become a citizen of another country. All right? You denounce everything else, and your loyalty is where you become a citizen. However, there is a large majority of people who have done that don't feel that way. So, in what I'm going to say is you broke that oath that you gave. And if you broke that oath you gave, shouldn't it be the right of the country to say bye-bye and send you back to where you came from and erase your citizenship from the country? I don't know. Is that too harsh? Should you be able to
Harsh enough.
should you be able to denounce the country that you swore allegiance to? Okay.
No,
To
that's
live
called
there?
that's called being a traitor.
Should you be thrown out because everything that you swore to, you're doing the total opposite towards? I think, and this is just me, Big Mike speaking, and nobody else, I think Congress needs to work harder at fixing these kind of problems rather than argue and fight about everything else. Because we know 2026, remember, midterms, voting in November, and they're going to take office in January in 27. Okay. We got to get these politicians on board because there's too many politicians that are spewing stuff that's contrary to what we believe. I mean, we formed this country under a Christian belief. Okay. Not saying that you can be any other religion, and that's fine. But that's what we found the country on. And then we're seeing all these people that are coming in, stealing money. I watched a thing this morning about investigators in front of Congress talking about $17 million that was taken, taxpayer money, by the way, for a program that is supposed to be generated or was established, a nonprofit, to help legalized immigrants settle in the United States. However, that money hasn't been done, and they found $15 million that is being shipped to other causes in other parts of the world. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, this morning, do's and don'ts when interacting with law enforcement, namely ICE, FBI, U.S. Marshals, Customs and Border Patrol. And when I started researching this, 95% of the websites that I went to were put in place to help illegal immigrants evade law enforcement. They're there with legal help, as they say, but they all have, hey, donate to this site. And people are donating to these sites to help illegal aliens stay in the United States. And I'm thinking, this surely isn't pro bono because you're asking for donations. And these places are making tons of money off people that think that if you cross the border, you should be able to stay here, whether you're a criminal or not. And here's the point, and I get this. If you are a peaceful illegal immigrant, if there's such a thing as, and you get caught up in the apprehensions when they're, bagging criminals and stuff like that, hey, it is what it is, right? If you're out on the streets and you call yourself peaceful and you're out on the streets, in my mind, you're kind of dumb, because why would you put yourself in such a situation to get into a cop's face if you're illegal? Now, apologies right now, but the term crazy Karen, okay? Crazy Karens are out there. Crazy Sams are out there. All right. Want to get both genders in there. And I defined,
It's Karen and Ken's.
Karens and Ken. There you go. And you get in a cop's face, you deserve, and you're a U.S. citizen, you have no right to bitch afterwards. If you lay your hand on a cop, they have the legal right to stuff and cuff you, which they're doing. And everybody goes, oh, I'm a U.S. citizen. Oh, sorry. You didn't act like one right before you got, put into handcuffs and irons and stuff and thrown into a vehicle. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But when interacting with immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, remaining calm and knowing your constitutional rights is essential for your safety and legal standing. Okay? So if you act and you're peacefully protesting, that's one thing. If you're in a cop's face and you're yelling and screaming at him and spitting on them or throwing bricks or pieces of concrete or bottles or whatever at them, now you just cross the line and you get everything you asked for.
If you spit on a cop, you should be thrown to the ground, turned over, given a kick, and then handcuffed.
I agree.
That is the biggest disrespect you can do to another human being.
Yeah. Spitting on somebody, yeah, you're right.
And it's considered assault.
And it is assault, yeah, on a federal officer. So let's say hello to a bunch of people that came in here. I want to say hello to you guys. There's Merns Pacquiao. Welcome in.
Before you continue,
Go ahead.
There's been more people come in. So if you haven't seen the merch store, Big Mike wants as many of them sold as you can do.
I'm making, I think, 50 cents off of those. So
and I don't get sod all for advertisement.
Yeah.
But that fella there deserves everything he gets. Because he made the right choice in marrying that woman.
Because Paul's face is on it too. That's right. RD Vlogs, welcome in. James, I can't say the last name, but it says Jane, or is it Jamie? Want to welcome you in. There's Awesome Light. Welcome in. Luffy, welcome in. Good to see you. My Love Mo or Moo is here.
I think that's Jamila.
Rona Castro, welcome in. Janelle, welcome in. There's Crystal's Adventure. There's Anna G's. There is Shane Raza. Welcome in, Shane.
I think that's Chanel, actually.
Huh?
Shane, I think it's Chanel.
Chanel.
Chanel Raza.
Yeah. Welcome in.
And you got Leela and Lily.
There's Jojo Bar.
And I'm pairing.
There's Abby. Thank you for sharing us out, Abby. There's Miss Nay.
I always hated them.
Hannah, welcome in. Let's see. Oh, guys, and prayers for Jerry Butler this morning. He's going in. Is it heart surgery?
Yep.
Is that what he's going in for?
Yep. He's
So
going to get his
Jerry, he's going up into the Joplin Hospital for his heart. So we want to send prayers out for a speedy recovery, as Paul said right there. Yeah, you can't mess around with the heart. That's crazy stuff there. And there's our friend Tamara over at Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank. There's Mr. Troy Sutton saying good morning to everybody.
Pissing in the wind.
Roadkill Ron. Hello, my brother. Yeah, he needs to win one of those mugs. Well, if you show up on Wednesdays and you win on our Wheel of Fortune, if you will, you can choose anything on the merch store to include a Morning Talk with Mike mug. And I believe there's a Morning Talk t-shirt on there. Am I correct?
T-shirt, sweatshirt, vests, hoodies.
Yep.
I looked through the entire thing when Mike said it was on.
Yep.
I can't believe you skipped the most important one there.
What's that?
If I was to do that, who did you miss?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's Karen Brett. Welcome in. Sorry about that. Hey, the Bud Files is here. Welcome in.
Jody Young is here.
There's Janice. Welcome in, Janice. Shade Tree Cook. There's James Hall, y'all.
Yep.
Yeah. Other presidents have done it, but there was no mention. Nobody got their panties in a bunch back then, but now they want to do it. Now, I don't know. What is the hatred towards Trump? Is it because he was a lifetime Democrat, then he turned Republican when his eyes actually opened up?
No. They don't like Trump because he's not a politician. Trump is not taking backhanders.
Yeah.
Trump is getting things done. And they are scared because they see if he stays in power that they are going to lose all the free stuff they've been stealing from the people.
That's probably true.
And he's fighting a one-man war against globalists.
And that's just here. That's part the EU. That's everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I argued with somebody in my own supermarket the other day because they were talking shit about Trump. And I turned around and says, you must be a bloody old Labour supporter. She says, how did you know? I says, because you're as stupid as the Democrats are in America. Stupid. I says, yeah, stupid. I says, you've got globalists, organizations that have been trying to take over the world since the Second World War.
Now, is it because...
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am stating the fact. They are... Why do we have companies? In one hand, they're providing weapons. And on the other hand, they're sending out bandages.
Yeah.
They've got it coming in hand over fist.
But is it because one party wants the immigrants to come in to put them in financial slavery and dependent on them?
So they want the rich.
They can boost their numbers?
They want the rich richer and the poor struggling.
Yeah.
When the poor struggle, they have to take what's given.
Yeah.
It's literally trying to turn the poor into the slaves of yesteryear.
Yeah. Welcome in,
No, no,
Jamie. And Jody Young with 5 empty Homestead memberships. Thank you so much, Jody. There's Ray Castile.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, before we go any farther, it is Martin Luther King Day. All right. It is Dr. Martin Luther King Day. So I almost forgot about it because I don't work for the federal government no more. And when you have federal holidays, you remember each one of them for a day off. But yeah, I want to say that this morning for everybody that's in here. Okay, Jerry has made it to the Art Institute in Joplin, so he is there.
No, James, they're not communists. They're socialists.
Two old people on the couch. There they are. Welcome in, Mark and Debbie. There's Sal's Camper Life.
I missed them.
Yep, prayers for Jerry as he goes through his stay up there at the Heart Institute in Joplin, Missouri. Debbie Drock, welcome in. Oh yeah, I am not going to take that away from him. He was or whatever. I don't know if you ever stopped being a womanizer, but you're right. He's done some things, but everybody has done something in their life. Okay.
You can change.
He just so happened to have the money to pay all these people off or whatever he did. That's his business. It's not my business. I remember a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. There was only one perfect man that ever walked the face of the earth. Okay. Only one. One. And none of us are perfect. So
Who was that?
huh?
Who was that one perfect man?
Jesus Christ.
No, he wasn't. Jesus turned around and said himself he was not perfect.
Well, he was, can I use the word more perfect than us?
I will give you that one.
Yeah.
He is the Son of God. He is not God, he is the Son of God.
Yep.
So he was made more perfect than the rest of us.
So,
and do you know what made him more
when
perfect?
you get baptized, they say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. What did they say when Jesus got baptized?
This is for your dad.
I'm just wondering what they said back then.
And Jesus looked up and said, Dad didn't want this.
Hey, welcome in, Daniel. Oh, I'm not talking. I voted for him every time he ran. Trust me. What I like about Trump is the end state. Okay. What he's doing for us, what he's doing to make things better. Okay. As a person, I'm not worried about that. Show me in your deeds, okay, And what he has done for us is make things better while everybody else is trying to destroy it. All right. And that's all I got to say about that. I am a 100% in policy a Trump supporter. And I've never made any qualms about that. Okay, Wendy. Yeah, communists are always going to be communists. And if you look at the people that live under communist regime, how good is their life? Hey, there's Rebecca Touched by Yarn. Oh, really? Huh. Everybody's saying, Wendy, have a great day. Oh, here it goes. If Trump wears a clown suit to screw all the women, who cares? He is the best president I have ever had. Yeah. It's the results that matter, guys.
Yes.
You can't show me a politician that doesn't have something in their past. All right. You can't show me preachers that don't have something in their past. Okay. Can people change? Sure, they can change. All right. It's the people throwing stones that can't change. And I don't understand why. Okay.
Because they're the leopards. The people throwing stones are the leopards.
Yeah.
Can't change your spots on a leopard.
That's right. And this is what Paul and I talked about earlier. There was
I never said nothing.
No, we talked about this before. There was a community leader in Chicago. I watched a video, and they were talking about how the Black community in Chicago is now feeling, they've always felt last, okay, for when it comes to support for the community, whether it's the local government, whether it's the state government, and so on and so forth. However, what he was saying was now they feel like they are now behind, still last on the list within the Chicago community, behind the illegal aliens, with all the money, with all the support that they are giving towards illegal aliens. And they are pissed, guys. They are freaking pissed. All right. And I agree with them. You should be pissed. All right. You should feel that way. Hey, Gillum Farms. Hey, hey, hey. Did I say hey, hey, hey? I don't know. He said I was saying it wrong when I or do I need to put commas after the hays?
No, you just go
hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Let me see. Hey, there's Lou Screw. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Kim and Miles, welcome in. I don't know which one of you are in.
Oh, that's Kim.
All those people that are talking trash about President Trump need to clean app around their own door first. Yeah. Yep. God's the only judge. I leave it up to him. We are not on this earth to judge other people.
Johnny says you got to sound like a man when you say, hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
No, it's hey, hey, hey.
I just go, hey. That's right. One nation under God. Yeah. And see, the same thing was saying people said about Biden. Yeah, he was our president. Wasn't a good president. Okay. But he was. Yeah.
Mentally retarded.
Does everybody remember all the people that followed Jimmy Swaggart? Okay. Everybody sins, guys. Everybody sins. I know that Biden was our president, and I prayed for him. Yeah.
He got in on.
Yeah. Don't give him my money. Let him work for it. Everybody else has to work for it. I don't see people going here's free housing because you're a mom of 4 or 5 kids here, well, you do see that, but in general, nobody's helping out anybody else that's a citizen, nobody spent, like New York, what was it, 63 billion or whatever it was dollars to house people in hotels and stuff like that. We didn't even do that for our own homeless.
No.
Hey, Kentucky Bluegrass, how you doing? And I'm at the bottom. So, guys,
you're a long way from the bottom.
General do's and don'ts, and and I compiled these and I matched them to all these websites. Okay, and they're basically saying the same thing. These do's and don'ts are for people who are here illegally, and for those people that are citizens that are out there on the streets acting like asses. Okay, all right, acting like a Karen or a Ken. All right. And I mean the crazy type. And it says, remain calm and keep your hands where agents can see them. I would say that's a very wise thing to put out. Okay. Exercise your rights to remain silent. State out loud, I am exercising my right to remain silent. And that's true. You've already done enough talking to get your ass in trouble. You don't need to compound it.
You should always keep your hands in plain sight unless you've got an itch. And then you scratch your balls.
And you have the right to ask the immigration enforcement agents, am I free to leave? Now, if you're in cuffs in the backseat of the SUV, I would say you don't need to be talking at all, okay? Because you're not free to leave once that happens. All right. Remember, here's a do. Don't run, okay? Don't run. Don't resist or argue, as this can be used against you in your arrest because everybody's wearing body cams. And yeah, you've got your little phone. But what I seen in one court case, the judge would not allow the video to be used because cell phone videos that are emailed or whatever can be doctored. Okay. The body cam videos have a restriction put on them by the manufacturer. It's just pure video and it can't be altered. Okay. Don't lie or provide false information or documents. Giving false information is a crime to law enforcement. Don't sign anything without first speaking to a lawyer. And that's with everything. Okay. But I see it. I see these people. I seen this one girl. She was screaming and yelling that she goes, "My lawyer's going to have you." And then it showed the video when she was in court and she had a public defender. So just because they yell, "My lawyer, my lawyer, my lawyer," doesn't mean they actually can afford a lawyer. Now, they may be able to afford one when they put a GoFundMe up or something like that. But in general, people don't just keep lawyers on retainers. All right. And the people who are getting paid to be paid protesters, the people that are paying them aren't funding your defense. Okay. They're not funding your defense. Don't, like I said, don't sign anything without speaking to a lawyer. And documents may waive your rights to or lead to deportation. And that's the dues on most of that. We can say they're all on every site. They're basically said the same way. Now, if ICE comes to you at your home, it says, keep your doors closed. ICE cannot enter your home without a valid judicial warrant signed by a judge. That is a true statement. Okay. And this is what they're putting out to the illegal aliens. Do ask them to show you the warrant, even though you probably can't understand legal jargon. You can say, "Hey, show me the warrant," and take your time and read it. Do ask them to show you through closed doors. Once you open the door, it's like Dracula. They're coming in. Okay. And they'll deal with that. But if you're illegal, before it goes to court, you might be on a long flight somewhere else, is what they're saying. Don't open the door unless the warrant is signed by a judge, and list your correct name and address. Note, an administrative warrant signed by an ICE official is not enough to enter your home without permission. And do state clearly, I do not consent for you to enter my house or my dwelling if they try to enter without the proper warrants. Okay? Now, if you're detained, it's saying on all these websites, do ask for a lawyer immediately. While the government will not provide one for free, you have the right to hire one. Okay? Because what I found out, for citizens, you can get a public defender, but if you're an illegal alien, apparently, because you're going to federal court, they won't recognize a public defender for you. Do contact your consulate. Now, I kind of felt like this was kind of, really? You fled your country. Okay? Venezuela, wherever. You fled your country, citing persecution. Why would you go back to the consulate from the country you fled? Sure, why don't you come in? Okay? And see how far you get with that one. I'm just saying, yeah. Now, if you're a criminal or something like that, I'm pretty sure you're not asking to see your consulate. Okay? If you're probably from Trinidad or Aragua or whatever other gang that's out there.
Unless they're trying to buy the consulate.
Yeah. Do memorize the phone number of your family and a lawyer in advance. So before you go out there and protest, okay, and act like an idiot. Memorize the phone numbers of your lawyer. This is on their websites. Do remember a number, alien registration number, if you have one, so your family can find you using the ICE online detainee locator. Okay, so you get an alien registration number. It's like your social security number when you're trying to become a U.S. citizen or filing your paperwork and stuff like that. And you can go on the ICE site, put that number in there, and it can track you. Now, you may be in jail, or it may show you over the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean flying somewhere. I don't know. That would be the preferred thing. Okay. And then special considerations. Recording. You have a First Amendment right as a citizen, okay, to record or photograph ICE activities in public as long as you are not interfering with their operation. Okay? Workplace. ICE agents generally cannot enter private employee-only areas without a judicial warrant or employer's consent. And then there's traffic stops. Traffic stops. If pulled over, you must show your driver's license and registration, because remember, there's a lot of states that are just throwing out driver's license to illegal aliens, CDLs, like there's nobody business, and the license, you got to show that, but you don't have to answer questions about your immigration status. I will tell you, if you refuse, we used to live down in Sierra Vista. We had to go to Border Patrol to get to Sierra Vista if we went to Tucson or anywhere north. And they'll ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? I'm not telling you. Your next stop is over to check station to the side where the dogs are, okay? And everybody's going to unask that vehicle, okay, until somebody answers up, okay? So that is the majority of the questions on all these websites that are set up for illegal immigrants that are here in the United States. All right. And for citizens that go out there and act like asses on TV and stuff. You've seen them. All right.
They should have a sign up at the stations that says all illegals will be exported. Those refusing to acknowledge their citizenship will be going with them.
Good one, Jamie. So that's what's on most of these things. And like I said before, there's always a donate to this cause. People aren't doing this for free. They're making money off all this stuff. And there's a lot of people out there that are just throwing their money towards this whole thing. And it's just not rich people. It's everybody. If it's $5, because you can imagine if you have a website and you put that up there and you're totally against it. This is wrong. Everybody in the world should be able to come to the United States, and we should be able to go from 350 million people to 900 million people. Okay, everybody, just open your doors. Now, if all these people gave $5, you could make a pretty good living. Okay. And a lot of these are ACLU. NAACP has a website that's telling illegals how to operate. Okay. NAACP is helping them out. And I'm going to tell you something. There's people that are pissed about that because I've seen the comments. They are pissed.
Okay. Who is NAACP?
It is the National. Help me out, hon. Oh, she's not even in here. It's the National Advancement of Colored People.
You said it's advancement, not national all-American colored people.
Is it the National?
The National Association.
A National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Right,
That's
thank you.
That's what it stands for.
Thanks, Terry.
And the black community is pissed about that because they think the NAACP is just for them.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
It should be for nationalized colored personnel.
Yeah.
I don't care what color they are. They have to be nationalized. If they are not legal, they have no nationality.
Yeah. So then I said, okay, that's cool. All these people are basically in cahoots with their websites and stuff like that. So then I said, let me go to the DOJ. All right. And let me see what the DOJ says about people interacting with federal agents out on the streets. Okay. If you're peaceful protesting, you got nothing to worry about. And that's great. Your constitutional right, remember, your constitutional right as a citizen to protest is valid if you're peaceful. As soon as you start acting like an idiot, a Karen or a Ken, that's when things change. So the Department of Justice, the DOJ, maintains a strict stance on interfering with, obstructing, or touching U.S. immigration custom enforcement agents. Performing their duties is a federal crime, all right, if you interfere with it. As of January 2026, the DOJ has emphasized a policy of prosecuting these acts to the fullest extent of the law, especially citing U.S. Code 18 U.S. Code 111, assaulting, resisting, or impeding. That means sticking your nose into the business of federal agents. Okay. Key aspects of the DOJ stance on legal framework. Criminal penalties for interfering with ICE officers and their official duties include physical touching, pushing, blocking, using vehicles, hiding individuals is a federal offense. Okay? Is a federal offense, meaning it is a federal felony to do any of those. Okay? Have we seen that? One of the things that's out there that people say, well, I'm going to post this video on YouTube or whatever platform you're using, and it's just helping them to prove a point. Okay. Now, if you're getting arrested and you're saying, hey, you're violating my First Amendment rights, and I'm filming that, and they knock your phone out of your hand, it gets crushed or whatever happens, I don't know. Once you're being detained, that's out the window. Okay? You did something. You threw a brick, you pushed an agent, you spit on an agent, you did whatever. Things change, guys. Things change. Federal prosecution, the DOJ, has indicated it will deploy resources to protect ICE facilities and agents, bringing federal charges against those who disrupt enforcement actions. Assaulting an agent. Any assault on an ICE agent is considered a felony and is subject to intense prosecution. Yeah. I don't know how old everybody out there is. guys. I'm going to be 65 on Friday. And of course, my birthday present from the VA is I have to go get an MRI. So we're going to do a special Thursday morning talk with Mike and Paul, and it's going to celebrate my birthday. Okay, if you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the thumbnail. Okay,
That's news for me.
Yeah. However, when I was a kid, I remember in elementary school, police officer comes into the classroom and he tells us, introduces himself. I think now they call them, I don't know what they're called now. But he says, I'm a police officer. My name is Officer such and such. And I want to talk to you kids about the Mesa Police Department in the city that I lived in. This was back in the 60s. And he says, when you interact with the police officer, you need to follow all the instructions that is given to you. You should respond with yes, sir, no, sir, and so on and so forth. This is back in the 60s when we actually respected police officers in my community. And you didn't want to run in with the police officers because who raised us? Okay, because the veteran community raised us. People from World War II, okay, raised us.
Raise your hands if you ever had the policeman beat the shit out of you as a kid before he took you home.
Not me. I did exactly what they told me to do when I stepped out of line. And the only time I ever got detained was when me and a bunch of other yahoos, we were TPing toilet paper. Remember those days, guys, when we'd throw toilet paper and trash all over your best friend's lawn and they had to go out there and clean it up the next day because their dad was pissed and he knew it was the kids you hung around with? I got caught. I thought I was a fast runner back then, but that cop caught me and collared me. He said, "What is your name?" I spilled the beans. I told him who I was. And he goes, "Oh, where do you live?" And I gave him my address. He goes, "Wait a minute." He looked at me and he goes, "Is Miss Aline your grandmother?" And I go, "Oh, crap. This knows my grandmother." I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "All right," puts me in the back of the car. He handcuffed me. All right. I think I'm like 12, if that. He handcuffed me and put me in the back of the car, and he took me to the door handcuffed. Yeah. Knocked on the door. My grandmother came out, and he goes, "Hey, Miss Aline." He goes, "Do you know this guy?" And she goes, and she looked at me, and it was like a laser beam through my skull. And she goes, "Yes, that is my grandson." And he says, "I thought so." He goes, "Would you be against me turning him over to you?" And that's when I peed my pants because my grandmother was the disciplinarian. You've heard of Big Mama, right? Mine was Big Mama on steroids. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. I got the ass whooping of my life. I would have rather gone to juvie than to go home. Okay. And I never got arrested again. I said, whoa. What are we doing? "Oh, man, just put it in your pocket." "Nope. Walk out the store. I'm not doing it." Okay. Because I knew if I got caught, the hammer would come down. All right. This is before child endangerment and all these little things that they have nowadays. It didn't count back then. What counted back then is how much hide they could take off your ass. Okay. And I didn't have a whole lot. I was a little skinny beanpole. All right.
I knew my local Bobby by name.
Yeah. And The point is, we were taught how you're supposed to interact with the police. Okay. We were taught when you called the police because something happened, exactly what you're supposed to report.
Yeah.
Don't embellish it and all the and we're sitting there, okay. All right. And when we seen cops on the street, hello, sir, we'd say hello to them and stuff like that because we respected who they are. Nowadays, I think we're just raising some entitled children. I watched a video the other day and this girl got pulled over, a DUI, and she was yelling at the cops. She was 18 years old, just drilling them, telling them her dad is going to have their badges. He was a captain. He was a police officer, blah, 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 blah. And she was just freaking rude because obviously he got her out of some stuff before, because on the radio thing, it says that she had priors, but all priors was as a juvenile and stuff like that. So she said, I demand my phone call right now. I want to talk to my dad. So the one guy goes, wow, I know her dad. Calls him up on the phone, says, yeah, we got your daughter over here on highway such and such. And he said, I'll be right there. He showed up. He goes, looked at her, said, you're 18. He goes, take her away. And she started crying like a little 2-year-old. Okay. That's not the time to teach your kids respect, is when they're 18. Yeah, you're a legal adult. You're out of my hair. Okay. It's when they're small. Teach them respect. And that's what we did when we were kids. I don't know about people out there, your experience with law enforcement as a kid and in your schools, but we did that in my schools back in the 60s. Okay.
You can only teach them if they want to learn. If they want to be stupid and don't learn, then they have to learn the hard way. Take them away.
Yeah. And that's the problem. We don't do this anymore. Kids are so busy nowadays. What did we do before cell phones? People can't even remember that. There's generations that don't even know what a landline is. Okay.
Before cell phones, we didn't have to worry. That's what people did.
Yeah. So.
Oh, talking about cell phones.
Let's see. Obstruction of justice. The DOJ says actions deemed as harboring and abetting or obstructing a federal agent can be prosecuted under 8 U.S. Code 1324 and other federal statutes. Targeting of protesters or interferers. While the DOJ supports the right to peacefully protest, that is the key word, peacefully. Hey, baby girl. It distinguishes this from violent agitators or those who physically impede agents, the latter of which will be prosecuted. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. No immunity for violators. While agents have federal immunity in the conduct of their duties, anyone who lays a hand or blocks an agent is considered to be committing a felony. So don't put your hands on them. All right. If your screaming and yelling is impeding and they cuff you, you know what? I think most people feel the effect when the financial penalty is high. Okay? If you're out there and you're making minimum wage to be a protester and they slap a $10,000 fine on you for laying your hands on a cop, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I'm all for it. You know, the more money, the better, because I'm not going to do it. I didn't go out and protest when Biden was president and doing the things he did.
That clip you have there, I believe so strongly in that every week when I go on, every Friday when I go on their channel, they're live, I make my weekly donation. They are trying to buy a sawmill so they can do that, make tables and furniture for families that can't afford it.
Who's this?
Lauren and Joel. Making it home.
Yeah.
I believe that strongly in it. I make a donation every week.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. Yeah, she is a very beautiful baby.
She gets a look from her dad.
From her dad?
A granddad.
Oh.
Yeah, it was passed down through my genes.
Okay.
If you ask my daughter, she'll tell you she looks exactly like my mother.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Her and her partner are both blondes. And she is pure black. Her hair.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See, and that's why I don't lie. Okay? I may exaggerate a little bit, but I don't bald-faced lie. Because now in my age, I can't remember a lie if I told one. All right? And I've had bosses say, you know what, you are just too brutally honest. I said, well, this is the reason why. I can't remember. If you came up to me a week later and said, hey, the converse, I couldn't remember it if I tried. All right.
So what you told me about Terrie last week was a lie, was it?
I don't lie on Terrie. Now, here's something that I found very interesting, but I haven't seen them enforce it yet because there's a lot of politicians out there that should be in jail right now. Okay? Warning to local officials. The DOJ has warned state and local officials that obstructing federal immigration enforcement efforts may lead to federal investigations and prosecution. Now, I don't remember reading or seeing anyone, and I've heard some politicians say some horrible things. Okay? And I haven't seen anybody get arrested yet or charged. So, even when they illegally use funds for other things other than what they're labeled for. Okay? All right. I am older than the... Yeah. All right. So let me get down here. Legal contacts for civilians. Recording rights. The First Amendment generally protects the right to record law enforcement in public spaces, provided the person does not physically interfere with the operation going on. Okay? And remember, they can use your video. And people always say, well, how do they know I'm even there? Because what you may not know and what they know are two different things, because they can ping the towers and triangulate all the people that were in a certain location at a certain time. And if your phone pings in that area and they come a knocking, watch out. Okay? As long as they don't interfere with the operation. A safe distance. Bystanders are advised, all right, to stay a reasonable distance, i.e. 8 to 10 feet away from ICE operations to avoid association or interference. So they're telling you right there in the code, you need to back up. 8 to 10 feet is what they're saying. You need to be away from any ICE operations that's going on. Other than that, they can get you as a group for interference. Legal consequences. Individuals arrested for interfering or assaulting an ICE agent can face a significant fine and imprisonment or both. The current DOJ stance prioritizes the aggressive enforcement of laws, particularly those protecting federal officers, and aims to defer any action that hinders immigration enforcement, especially amid reports of increasing violence against the agents. Okay? And that's the DOJ's stance on it. So if you're in a no idiot zone and you act like an idiot, God help you. You know, and I'm going to tell you something. I think God loves idiots because He made so many of them.
He made me.
You know, it's crazy. You watch this on TV and you go, number one, do these people not have jobs in the middle of the afternoon? Is this the 3% unemployment area that people do? All right. People bitch and complain. ICE rolls up. Now, if you want to catch illegals, all you got to do is show up at a Lowe's. I don't care where it's located, or a Home Depot in the morning. You know, you're going to find them. They're working. All right. And I'm going to tell you something. The people that another thing that they do is if you go to a Lowe's and you pick up, I need 5, and they catch you employing them, all right, you're going to jail with them. Okay. Because number one, they're not paying taxes. That means you're not paying taxes. Okay? The employer's part of the tax, you're not paying it. So you're going to jail. But here nor there, I wanted to put that out there. I know everybody's watching all these people. Just it frankly doesn't give me hope. All right. It doesn't give me hope when I watch all these people and the number of people that want America to go a certain way, and we're not taking care of our citizens. We're taking care of everybody else but our citizens. And isn't that really what our elected leaders are put up there to do, is to work for us? Okay. And yeah, you can say, you know, part of this problem can be on the Biden administration, but we have had this problem forever. Okay. Forever. Even back in the Reagan years, we had huge immigration problems. And you would think after all these years, we would have our immigration policy down pat. Okay, because nobody agrees upon nothing, and it's getting worse and worse as the new politicians are coming in, new generations of politicians are coming in, and it's just getting sad, absolutely sad that it's come to this. It's come to the point where we have to sick our federal agents. And oh, by the way, if you want to be an ICE agent, there's a $50,000 sign-up bonus. All right. So you get to start off right off the get-go. And most of these guys, most of these ICE agents are former law enforcement, city law enforcement, because they disagree with the policies that are going on in the cities in which they patrol, and they're going to ICE in droves. Okay. They just hired, within the last 6 months, another 50,000 agents. 50,000 more agents. And they plan on doing it again because they don't have enough. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. If you've got kids, if you've got relatives, hey, I'm going to tell you something. They're going to mess up. And
are you coming out of retirement?
I'm not coming out of retirement. I'm staying on the farm. I don't even want to be near one of them cities. Okay.
So you're not going to be an agent?
No. I'm done.
No. The size you are in uniform, they'd be dropping on the floor. No, I don't want him.
Don't want nothing to do with it. And then I watched that thing where it was there were some cops that they go around to universities and they kind of do like Charlie Kirk. It's a prove me wrong type thing. And it was college students, something to do with trust or confidence in law enforcement. And I listened to these college kids and I'm going, holy smokes. Is this what the new generation is all about? I hate you guys. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. One lady says, you killed my brother. Well, what was your brother doing? He was doing absolutely nothing.
Bullshit.
Then at the bottom, it had armed. He was killed at the scene of armed robbery with gun and ammunition on his person. That's why he was shot and killed. See, people don't tell you that part. They think you should be, hey, you had no right to shooting somebody if somebody came up and they had a gun. It's not the way it goes, people. All right. And it was this person after person. And then they did the history of why that person that they were talking about was involved with the law. And then you get the true story.
Yeah.
Okay. Because everybody in prison is innocent. Everybody knows that.
Bullshit.
They're innocent.
Bullshit. And I can't believe the way everybody went with Floyd.
Yeah.
I can't believe how stupid it was.
6-time felon. And they burned down all those cities during that time period.
Yeah.
For a 6-time felon and drug addict.
Yeah, a drug addict who was high on PCP at the time and threatening a pregnant mother. He should have been put down a long time before.
It kind of astounded me that everybody was talking crap about Trump. And remember, he had to go into Atlanta and they had to book him, and they took that famous picture of him looking mad in his booking poster. And how many supporters he gained from different ethnicities because he was now a thug because he got arrested and got his picture taken in the jail or in the sheriff's department in Atlanta, in Fulton County. And I'm just like going, that's how messed up we are. That's when you join because you found out he was a thug and now you'll join him and you believe in him now. Yeah. So I'm just going. And if you don't think the DOJ was weaponized before, guys, you're living in la la land. I'm sorry. There we go. There's a whole lot of stupid out there, guys.
I'm the poster boy for stupid.
Well, Richard, I mean, you could say that, but are you overstepping your authority when the authorities that be let you continue to do it the way you're doing it? You can only overstep your authority given to you by people that give it to you. Okay? So in one way, you are correct. In another way, you could question that because you're only as powerful as the authorities let you become. And if they're letting people, if they're allowing them to operate the way they're operating now, then obviously they have the authority to do what they're doing. All right. And you got to remember something. They got to take the aggressive manner because of the aggression that they're facing. Okay.
Did you say thank you to
you can see it both ways. I get it. I know when I was a cop, you only had the amount of power that they give you. All right. And there was too many times where we made an apprehension or we wrote tickets or whatever, and the powers that be did away with the tickets, okay, because of who the person was. So I don't know. I understand the authority portion of it, but when you say they're overstepping their authority, that's different than what we think as what should be. So, and I guess you could
say thank you.
But I respect it, and a lot of people think that way. A lot of people say, hey, they're overstepping, but what are they overstepping?
Did you say thank you to Jody Young?
I did say thank you to Jody Young. Oh, wait. I was in the middle of a story and I seen that. And it was way up here. Ooh, Merce Pacquiao member for 25 months. Thank you. Happy early birthday, Mike. Lunch is on me. Love, Jody. Thank you, Jody. I'm sorry. I get to talking and I just blank everything out and it scrolled right past me. And I'm sorry for that, but thank you so much.
He's like Pac-Man. He never shuts up.
Hey, that's why it's called morning talk. It isn't morning silence.
And Kerry's just come in?
Well, again, yeah.
There's a lot of things to go with that racial profiling.
I would say when the vast majority of the people that came into the United States were of Hispanic or Latino descent or whatever like that. That is a huge part, and they know that. Okay. Um, I can see your point that people could believe that that's racial profiling. Um, but then again, they had a huge crackdown on the Asian community, with all
Yeah, and that didn't go to
people
that
from
didn't go
China that
to
came in. All the people from China that came in.
Yeah.
It wasn't Germans breaking down the door. It wasn't English breaking down the door or coming in illegally. It wasn't, whoever. It wasn't the Australians, and stuff like that. So you could say that. And I think that's why when we lived down on the border in Sierra Vista, they asked everybody the same question. You had to stop, roll down all your windows, and they made a statement. Are you U.S. citizens? And then they would look through inside your vehicle. So I guess that's a way around racial profiling. They never asked us. Well, they did ask us a couple of times, and we had to show them IDs, and I showed them my military ID, and Terry had to show them their driver's license and stuff, and they wave you through. But you could say racial profiling on anything. It's kind of like throwing around the word racist. Racist. I mean, nowadays when you hear they're racist, but they call everybody racist. Okay, so it has no meaning anymore, and people just go, oh, whatever. You're going to call, if you're white, you're a white supremacist. All whites are white supremacists. Really? And that's what people believe. So is that racist to say that? Or
Yes.
Can only people that are Caucasian be charged as racist? I don't know. You got
racist words.
Black ICE agents. You've got Hispanic ICE agents. I mean, you've got a lot of Border Patrol, Customs and Border Patrol that are of Hispanic origin. Are they racist? They know what the problem is. Or is it just something that we throw out there to say? And nowadays, it's kind of like, does it even have a meaning anymore? Because everybody just throws it around like it's nothing, and that's sad.
It's something everybody bloody waves when things don't go their way. And yes, I've seen that one on Facebook about the fellow with the Lamborghini.
Yeah, I don't know about individual. I'm sure there is. I'm sure that whatever, but I'm sure if he pulled out his paperwork and he said, "Yep, here you go, officer," blah 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 blah, everything would be good. I mean, you could say that that's racial profiling. That's an incident. You could say, "Hey, because they're driving a lowrider."
No, the point that Richards is getting at there is he's not been stopped once or twice. He's been stopped 17 times in the same city.
Yeah. Well, here's something, and I thought this was very odd. I was going to White Rock, and the town before White Rock, I had to stop because all these Lamborghinis and Ferraris were pulling out of this gas station, and there was civilians in the road stopping traffic. And I counted 17 cars.
That was a gumball rally.
And well, here's what I found out, and I'm just like going, huh? And then they all pulled into. They went up to Mountain Home, which is the town nearest to White Rock, and they pulled into the Walmart. And they parked all the way to the back side or the front side of the Walmart. And so I pulled in there. I wanted to see the cars. And it was all white, pasty white men driving these big old expensive cars and stuff like that. So I was talking to and I said, well, and I thought maybe they're just passing through. And he said, no, they all live here. This is their car club in this area. I'm going, that's a lot. That's more money than your city brings in a year in that car club.
Yeah.
Going, holy crap. And I don't know. You know, you could say it's racial profiling that you pulled over a car full of black teenagers in East St. Louis. Well, 9 times out of 10, when you pull anybody over in East St. Louis, they're going to be black because that's what that side of town predominantly is. And I get that. Okay. But people don't rate, they don't raise a voice when a black officer pulls over a car full of black kids. It's only when the opposite pulls over. People didn't destroy Minneapolis because a white ICE agent shot and killed Miss Good. Now, if there was a reverse, they might have. Okay, I'm not saying they would, but there's a high probability. Okay, so if you look for racism, you're going to find racism. That's what I've always believed that. If you look for it, you can find it. Trust me. And I don't look for it. When I was a police officer, you know, I didn't look for it. You know, when I was an MP in the Army, I never looked for it. Everybody was green to me. I learned years ago that you need to be unbiased as a cop. Now, if they said, hey, you know, in your morning briefing that, hey, be on the lookout for a white to cream color 65 Impala, there's a lot of Impalas in LA that's going to get pulled over that day. Okay. And so on and so forth. But it's just, yeah, he was not speeding or anything like that. But, you know, if the guy got pulled over 17 times and wherever he lives, I don't know where this happened at. Yeah, I don't know, but it's sad though that if it is, then it's sad. Then they're doing the wrong thing. But you can't say all police officers racially profile. Okay. I believe that. I don't think they all are. Now there are probably a lot of cops in certain cities that's learned their lesson. You know what I mean? The hard way. In legal reviews, Ross will be held responsible because of how law is written. The person with the firearm in control of the situation, how they handled the situation will be highly scrutinized. Now, yeah, could be. But remember what I said before, the powers that give you your authority like in this case, the DOJ, all right, and those federal ICE agents will never be prosecuted at the local level, period. Okay, because the DOJ has the authority over all the ICE agents. So if they see something that was totally wrong or whatever, then they'll probably prosecute him. But if the powers that be are the people that can prosecute you and you're not being prosecuted or you're not taken off the street, I'm pretty sure he was taken off the street, all right, till an internal review can be done. But again, if the powers that be that give you your authority are the same people who can put you in jail, and he's not in jail or in custody or anything like that, you know, that's a crazy one right there. So, and oh, by the way, wasn't it what I seen on one of the news feeds that he was dragged by a cop not too long ago. Me personally, I was always taught never get in front or the rear of a vehicle, period. Okay. You get off at an angle. When you approach a vehicle, back door at an angle so you can see the person's hands and everything. If you're supporting, you're in the back at an angle, not directly in front of the door so that you can see. You don't stand in front of a vehicle because you could get ran over. And if you've never been in law enforcement and you don't understand what cops go through, now if you're in Podunk, Oklahoma somewhere, population of, 1,000 people, and you're a cop in that town, you're not going to see the same things as you see a cop go through in New York City, Chicago, Miami, LA, all that kind of stuff. And you don't know. You don't know what that cops have gone through. And remember, all these ICE agents, a majority of them used to be city cops. They left their city because their city wasn't taking care of them. Remember? They took away. They wanted to defund. They wanted to do all this. They said, hey, I'm out of here. They're going to give me a $50,000 bonus to go over here, and I'm making this much more money. I'm out. So who knows? I don't. Yeah, some do. Most don't. And I agree. And I know a lot of people that aren't in law enforcement that is racist as hell. All right. Basically would make Archie Bunker look like a saint. Okay. But it's all, we always point the finger at the people that's in the authority or, like cops and stuff like it. We're easy. We can point because they don't put stuff on the news that doesn't incite people. You notice that, Paul? If it will get people riled up and pissed off, they'll put it on the news.
I don't need to watch the news to get pissed off with the way things are.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, it's kind of like these news agencies. It's the only time they get views is when they can rile up the base. Okay. What is this? I drove a school bus and never used the emergency brake at a traffic light or on a hill.
She held it up there with the clutch, and she rolled back into a cop. The media is not partially to blame. The media is mostly to blame. They've all been bought.
Who got hit by a car and is at home recovering?
The one that Kerry was just talking about. Johnny and Kerry had a thing talking, chat going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, ye without sin cast the first stone.
Kim says, Paul, I rolled into a cop when my clutch was slipping in her Honda.
Ooh.
It would have been better in the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering that too. And again, the powers that be have to prosecute you. The district attorney or whoever's in charge of the district, and they didn't bring charges up. Yeah. It's a fine line, guys. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. It's crazy, but and people will yell and scream, "Oh, the DOJ is protecting the ICE agents." You could say that. You could say that, or you can say, "Hey, the law specifically says, this or that," and then, but of course, all right. It's like when I was a private and I got in trouble in the Army, and I said, but, telling the first sergeant, I said, but I was told, who told you that? Well, such and such, he told me that. He looked at me and he said, you know what? He goes, if one thing I know after 30 years in the Army, don't trust a shithouse lawyer. Okay? Those are people who think they know the law, okay, and give you bad advice, okay? Or they only know part of the law, but haven't done their research. I will tell you that I'm not going to side on anybody's side. If a cop's wrong, a cop should be prosecuted. But as being a former cop, I will tell you, you have no idea what cops go through on a daily basis with all the crazies that are out there. And yeah, it could happen. It could happen. I'm not going to say it can't happen, but
Kerry's going. Kerry's going.
Kerry's what?
Kerry's going.
Oh, okay. Bye, Kerry. All right. So, hey, guys, that's what we got for you. Remember, if you don't want to be part of the problem, you might want to stay back. There's other ways than going out there and acting like an ass and getting yourself cuffed and stuffed or getting injured or whatever the case is. Choose your battles. All right. But I'm going to tell you something. We already know. I read it to you. The DOJ has made it perfectly clear. You get involved, it's automatically going to the federal level. Okay. And if this is the fight you want to fight, okay, and it means that much to you, and it's going to influence your world to get involved, then by all means, roll the dice and see what happens. But I'm just telling you, I always tell people, we have a rule here. We don't get involved in other people's drama. Okay, leave that for your mama. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Okay, because there's enough crazies out there. They don't need you. Okay. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Show them that mug again, Paul.
You mean that one?
The Morning Talk with Mike. Yep, it's on our merch store. Please go check that out if you want one. And remember, Wednesday, we're going to be giving away a Mid-America YouTube Meetup shirt or anything off our merch store. You choose it. We'll give it away every Monday, every Wednesday until the meetup comes. But if you want your own shirt for the meetup, please go on there and check it out. And you can purchase. We've kept it as low as we can. I mean, we had to keep it to a thing, so the postage. That's what we keep it at because of the postage. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Remember, Thursday, Morning Talk with Mike and Paul on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, because Friday I will not be here. I will be doing my birthday MRI, courtesy of the Veterans Administration. They chose that day to get me in for my knees because they want to cut on my knees and stuff like that. So Thursday, 8:30. I'll see you guys here. It's going to be a happy birthday for me, guys, because the 23rd is my birthday, but we're celebrating it on the 22nd. All right, guys. Love you. Remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need. And always think of that. Hey, by the way, I just put out a new video.
I've seen
Check
it.
that one out. If you've got chickens, go check that video out. You're going to enjoy it. And maybe it'll help you out. I don't know. Maybe you're already doing what we're doing. But check out that video. It's my first video in the last 2 months. Because remember, Terrie had surgery. I was taking care of Terrie. I didn't have time. I got burned out on making videos. I was just doing lives. But we put out a new video. Please go check that out, guys. Anyway, guys,
Remember, people,
God bless you. Paul, thanks for always for being in here.
remember, people, Mike always blames Terrie when he doesn't put out videos.
Yeah. Terrie got burned out a while back. Anyway, guys, because lives are so easy to do. You know what I mean? Just mark your calendar. Nothing can happen during this time frame unless the VA says, hey, sorry, this is the only time we got. Because if I didn't get it done on the 23rd, I had to wait till the 14th of February. And if they're going to cut on me, I want the surgery in February so I can recover by Mid-America. So anyway, guys, love you. God bless you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Stay safe. Have a great week, everyone.
Show them the cup, Paul.
I've showed them the cup.
Bye, guys.
And people, you can also get T-shirts, vests, and hoodies.